Hi guys, Fulgor here, and I'm bringing you, I'd say, fairly long commentary on Mordekaiser, the King of Metal. Many people say this guy is a newbie champion, like Mordekaiser number one, whatever. And you know what? To an extent, it is true. Mordekaiser is very easy to use. He's a overall very good champion, but he is a lot more tricky to use than I'd say like the recommended champions. So I don't personally think that puts him in the noob category. Plus, the way his ultimate works sort of defeats the whole purpose of easy to use because his ultimate is actually one of the most original and complicated ultimates in the league, at least in my opinion. So I'll go over Mordekaiser's abilities, sort of his playstyle, the items I use, and so you can see, you can kind of get an idea on how he works mechanically. And I'll also tell you how to counter Mordekaiser, which is not the hardest thing in the world, but it's something you should know when laning against a Mordekaiser. First of all, I like to say that somebody at Riot really loves heavy metal, or metal music, or rock, or whatever, because every one of Mordekaiser's abilities is sort of an homage to a different rock song, which I think is pretty cool. So as a bonus, I'll tell you which song each ability represents, and I'll tell you what each ability does. So the first ability is called Iron Man, and this is Mordekaiser's passive. Iron Man is an homage to the song Black Sabbath made, Iron Man, which is now the theme of Iron Man. Everybody knows this, the one that goes tan 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 na na tan na na na. Yeah, that little tune you've heard a million times. Mordekaiser's Iron Man, basically the way it works is every time Mordekaiser deals damage with his ability, 30% of the damage he deals comes back to you as a shield. So that little gray bar you see under the health bar is not mana, it's not energy, it's nothing. Mordekaiser, the way he works is when he casts an ability, he uses health. Very, very similar to Mundo, except not as much health as Mundo. It can be easily countered. This sort of health deficit that you have going on as Mordekaiser can be easily countered by getting a hextech, a hexagon. So you'll be good once you get that. Basically, Iron Man is what makes Mordekaiser so, I guess you could say, annoying. He can build up this shield so quickly late game that he becomes this unstoppable tanky AP machine, and he's just hard to kill overall. You keep focusing him, he keeps building his shield, you focus him again, he keeps building his shield. So late game you are forced to choose between leaving Mordekaiser alone to deal damage or focusing down Mordekaiser and letting his team deal damage, where Mordekaiser just builds his shield up and really takes up all of the enemy team's energy. He's not invincible by any means, but he's very, very hard to kill. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to know when to fight a Mordekaiser. Try to fight him when he doesn't have a shield. When he has his shield build up, that might be bad for you. He's a very great pusher, so his shield also helps him tank a couple of turret shots. So keep that in mind. Mordekaiser's Q is called Mace of Spades, which is an homage to the song Ace of Spades by Motorhead. And the way it works is it empowers Mordekaiser's next basic attack. When he hits a minion and or champion, and there are other enemy units around, metal shards will sort of go towards those units, and it can damage up to 4 different targets. The damage doubles when the target is alone. So when the metal shards have no other unit to jump on, the damage will be doubled, and this really makes Mordekaiser really, really freaking damaging. Like, I can't emphasize how good Mordekaiser's damage output is, considering he's tanky as hell. Mordekaiser's second ability is called Creeping Death, which is an homage to the song Creeping Death by Metallica. And basically, it grants Mordekaiser sort of a shield. A bunch of metal shards will start surrounding Mordekaiser, and it will grant him armor, magic resist, and they will also do a little bit of damage. This also builds Mordekaiser's shield, and as a bonus, you can select an enemy unit, a friendly unit, and put this shield on them. So, like you saw right there, that minion had the shield. So if you have a tank on your team that's about to initiate, put your shield on the on your tank, and before you know it, you're already building up your shield. This is Mordekaiser's only defensive ability, and even his defensive ability is considered offensive. So imagine that. Mordekaiser's E is called Siphon of Destruction, which I believe is an homage to Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth, and it's sort of a cone. It works it's Mordekaiser's, first of all, it's Mordekaiser's first source of damage. And it works very. You select an area, sort of in a cone, and Mordekaiser casts sort of this metal pieces of I don't know, this metal shards come out of the ground and hit enemies inside that cone. This is Mordekaiser, like I said, most damaging ability is his harass tool, and it's really the ability you should max out first. It makes farming incredibly easy, and personally, I think Mordekaiser is one of the greatest farmers in the league. I mean, I've been ganking bottom a lot. I've been moving around the map, and I almost have as much farm as Riven, as you can see in the bottom corner. Imagine if I would have stayed in lane actually farming. Mordekaiser's ultimate, and this is what makes, this is what either makes or breaks a good Mordekaiser player, is called Children of the Grave. Again, another song by Black Sabbath. Somebody in Riot must really love Black Sabbath. And basically, that was a very, very late ult by Nami. And basically, what it does is, first of all, you select a champion and mark them. The mark is very distinguishable, I'd say. It's sort of a Mordekaiser's helmet, glowing in sort of a gray, whitish color. And basically, the target marked will take, and there's a double damage I was talking about from Mace of Spades. As you see right there, the target will slowly lose health, and eventually, when it dies, Kog'Maw, take your time, just die. When it dies, you will get a Phantom. This Phantom basically does whatever you want. You can make him attack, you can make him sort of a shield for the turret. Right now, all you gotta do is press Alt. Oh, V, nice ult on my Phantom. Yeah, that's really gonna help you out. So, by really focusing down a champion on the enemy team and really killing them and getting this Phantom going, you go from a 5v4 to a 6v4, and it just becomes. And right here, I'm making my Phantom tank. I'm making them attack. I'm really making back off. So now we're gonna try to take the turret. The Phantom also, the ultimate also has a bonus effect, in which it grants Mordekaiser Spell Vamp. The Spell Vamp is not great, but basically, to put it simply, the more health the champion with the ultimate has, the more health or Spell Vamp Mordekaiser benefits from. So you can really use this ultimate in a variety of situations. If you need more survivability because you're getting focused down, you ult the tank in their team, you get more Spell Vamp, and that will allow you to stay in the fight for longer. If you really need a Phantom, you can just do. By the way, it's recommended that you use the Phantom on the AD carry, so you actually have Mordekaiser with his attacks and his casting abilities, and then a ranged AD carry attacking on top of that. And it really becomes a force to be reckoned with. Later on, I will show two different scenarios in which Mordekaiser with his Phantom and Mordekaiser without his Phantom, and sort of show the differences between them. Now, when countering Mordekaiser, you should know two things. A Mordekaiser player will always pick up, first of all, Flash and then Ignite. Why? It's simple. In order to execute the enemies with his ultimate, Mordekaiser is gonna need Ignite. There's the reason for it is, even though the ultimate does damage a target for 10 seconds, I think I didn't say that, but yeah, it damages the target for 10 seconds. This damage is not significant enough to really kill somebody. So usually Ignite will do the job, and it's something. It's quite the damage output from Ignite, his ultimate, and the new item I have, that blue mask that I don't know what it does. And right here, I ult the wrong person. I ult Vi. She ends up getting away. I should have ulted Kog'Maw, and this is one of those scenarios where the ghost should have come in handy. So I know I'm screwed. So I'm just gonna fight a little bit. Hope my team can capitalize on that. However, Riven misses his stun due to the fact that she was low by Lux. She uses her the activation of her ult, and it was just a waste of time. So now I know I have to focus Kog'Maw, because Kog'Maw has no escape mechanisms. unlike Vi, who can use Vault Breaker, and Nidalee, who can run away. So now I know that. When countering Mordekaiser, you should always know that he's going to have Ignite. So you got to really pick your fight. If you're really low health, don't even think about it. He can just use Siphon of Destruction and then ult you, use his Ignite, and that's it. Just like that, you're done. And right here, Vi decides to do to initiate without her team. So what's going to happen is she's going to fall down. She's going to fall, I guess. I'm going to focus Nidalee, who is squishy. I'm going to ult Nidalee, so now I have a Phantom. And I'm going to go for Lux. Lux gets away, so I'm just going to focus Kog'Maw with my Ghost holding out like a boss. So I'm going to take down Kog'Maw. I am going to die, but I took down Nidalee and Kog'Maw. And I'm really shutting down the AD carry. That was going to be my mission from now on. And you saw that fight was very different. Once you get your Phantom, you will actually do more damage. And you should really decide on who to use your ultimate on. That is very important. Now, Mordekaiser's biggest weakness is he doesn't have any escape mechanisms. So when countering Mordekaiser, you should take advantage of this. You should really push him to the limit and gank him a lot, because Mordekaiser is very susceptible to ganks. Do not try to harass him. You would think by harassing him, you're slowly draining his health, but that's not really going to happen. Mordekaiser can regenerate health due to Hextech, and he can pretty much keep his shield up. And basically, you're not gonna even be damaging him. You're just gonna be wasting your time. So right now, once again, I ult. I get a Phantom. I'm deciding whether I should fight or not. We're pretty low, me and Nami specifically. So fuck it. I'm just gonna send my Phantom first. I'm gonna send him after Garen. I'm just gonna go in. I'm telling my team. I'm telling my team, let's go in. Let's go in. And right here, pick up another kill with my Phantom. And that was a good fight. Yeah, Mordekaiser is very susceptible to ganks, and you really don't want him to have a successful laning phase. Even if he doesn't get many kills, like I said, he's a great farmer, and he can get pretty minion fed. So try to shut him down whenever possible. Even if you gank and it's a fail gank, he flashes away, you should consider that a win right there, because this means he doesn't have flash anymore, and he is now more susceptible to ganks. So you should really, even if it's necessary, you should babysit mid lane, because most mids won't be able to really do much against Mordekaiser. Another thing you should keep in mind when laning against Mordekaiser is the fact that he is always very aggressive. Mordekaiser players are always very aggressive, and you would think that doesn't really affect you, but in fact it does, because due to the fact that Mordekaiser is always aggressive, it's really hard to decide whether or not you're getting ganked or you're being harassed. So it becomes this sort of gamble that you should you engage on him, should you back off, and it's really difficult to tell whether or not he's about to gank, his jungler's about to gank or not. So always keep that in mind. Right here, picked up a kill on Lux, I believe, with my ultimate, even though I can't see the ghost right now, but I think I did pick up a ghost. Double kill. Trist steals my quadra kill, but whatever, it's all good. Trist picks up a double kill, I pick up a double kill, and yeah, okay, there you go, Phantom Lux. So yeah, make sure you know that Mordekaiser, you should buy wards, because it's really hard to tell whether or not Mordekaiser is setting up for a gank or he's just being Mordekaiser. Now, I'm going to talk about items real quick. I don't have a lot to say about items. He's pretty straightforward. You can see my items down there. First item you should rush as soon as possible, Hextech Gunblade. You really need to make up for that loss of health that your abilities cost. So his loss of health is not terrible, but it's not great, and it usually won't help you out a lot. So sorry, keep that in mind. I usually rush Sorcerer's Boots. Magic Penetration really helps me out as Mordekaiser, and it helps out in general. If you need a more tanky build, you could go Ninja Tabbies, but Magic Penetration Boots is usually the way to go. After that, I try to rush an AP item. Usually Hunting Guys does the job, and in this item I'm using that freaking white mask with the blue background. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called something of Lament or Torment. I don't know. I'm still getting used to the new items. Basically what that item does is it gives you AP, gives you Magic Penetration, and over time it creates sort of a damaging effect, very similar to a poison or Brand's passive, I don't know. So that item on top of my ultimate, on top of ignite, really whittles down targets. The third item I like with Mordekaiser is Spirit Visage. Spirit Visage, first of all, oh, Nidalee, come here. Hi! And you're dead. There you go. That was 2 abilities. Well, no, that was 3 abilities. I had Creeping Death, but Creeping Death is sort of a defensive ability, so I don't really count it. That was a double damage on Mace of Spades. Do not fight Mordekaiser alone. Never. Ever. Even if you can take him, he can just buy time for his team by just triggering his passive constantly. And before you realize it, you'll have a bunch of people on you. You will see later on that I can buy a lot of time as Mordekaiser. Spirit Visage. Spirit Visage gives you 200 health. That was a terrible by Garen. At this point, Garen, I see that Garen is doing a lot of damage. So I'm a little bit worried that he can take me. However, I don't know for sure. So I always do this thing with Mordekaiser where I test my damage during team fights. I grab Kog'Maw with the double damage. I ulti Kog'Maw. So I'm gonna buy team. I'm buying time for my team right now. So this is a great example. Kog'Maw is gets stunned, or otherwise Lux would have gone down. So I press Alt and start focusing Vi. Here comes Garen. Garen is doing a lot of damage. However, I'm doing more damage and I'm more tanky. So right now I'm just buying team. I'm just buying time for my team. I should say. And look at how low they are. Oh, I was like, oh my god, can I get a pentakill? And it wasn't possible because first of all I killed Kog'Maw a long time ago, and then my team came to clean up. I got killed, so we definitely came out on top of this one. Did you see how much time I bought as Mordekaiser? They didn't know whether to engage on me or whether to flee, and when they did engage on me, they saw how durable I was, and before they realized, my whole team just entered and completely decimated them. That would have been a nice quadra kill if played right. However, I was just good. Keep in mind, by the way, I should say this, but I was talking on the phone this whole time, so I was really distracted. I'm not bragging by any means, but I feel like I could have done better, and I could have provided a better gameplay if I was actually paying attention or paying more attention. But you know, stuff happens, so nothing I can do. Right here, me and Tristana are doing something bad. We're in their jungle. We have no vision. We don't know what's going on. Garen comes in and just melts me, and Lux picks me up, and then they clean up on Tristana. Now, this happens very often, especially when you're fed. You think you can take on everybody. I've talked about it before. Spassy calls it fed fever. So, you know, never do this. We had no vision. We have no business in their jungle. And as a result, what happened? We all end up getting killed. So don't do that. Always pay attention and know your place in the game. Usually the next item I like to go is Crystal Scepter. And right now that little minion gave me vision on Nidalee, so I go into the bush, I see Lux, and I just drop Lux immediately. I was gonna alter, but it wasn't really worth it because there was nobody around, so it was just gonna be a wasted ult. So I like to build the Crystal Scepter. It gets me tanky as hell. It gives me AP. And it triggers the slow on target so I can keep up with him. Because like I said, Mordekaiser has no escape mechanism. He has no gap closure abilities. So he really, his only real way to deal damage is to really either go for slow targets or wait for the team to focus him down. Which is very risky. But with Mordekaiser it works. Will of the Ancients. By now you should finish your Will of the Ancients. Not only granting yourself spell vamp, but granting your teammates spell vamp and allowing you to stay in fights longer. Garen, I want to kill him at this point because I feel like if I get a Phantom Garen with all that health and with his damage output, we can really clean up. But that is probably not the greatest idea. Never focus a tank. Oh, Nidalee, right here, I remember this. I see Nidalee. I know I can drop her in a combo. That's been tested before. So what happens? I get greedy. I try to come up behind him. She heals up. I hit Kog'Maw, trying to harass, and I'm just like, oh, whatever. I just get away. Oh, but wait, Garen has different plans for me and ult. Yeah, don't do that. I didn't have my team to back me up. Garen has an infinity edge at this point. So I really, once again, I had no business being there. That was totally my bad, and I completely deserve to die. Don't do that. Mordekaiser is one of those few champions that can do pretty well without a Ravenous Death Cap. However, they shouldn't discourage you at all from getting a Ravenous Death Cap. And oh, Baron fight, let's go, let's go. So focusing Garen, he's the only one in the fight. His teammates aren't following up. So now I got a Phantom Garen. So let's go. I want to fight. But Kog'Maw does do a nice job of slowing me. I get basically thrown in the back lines. I can't really do as much damage as I want to. And Lux stays for too long and dead. So now we're trying to keep up. Trundle does a nice pillar. And it's just we couldn't catch up with them. So Phantom Garen didn't do much. What I learned from this, you gotta focus Kog'Maw. Phantom Kog'Maw will do a lot better than Phantom Garen. Like I was saying previously, Ravenous Death Cap is a good item, but I feel like Abyssal Scepter is more fitting for Mordekaiser. I don't know. I have a hard time deciding on offensive items. Just Mordekaiser is just all around very good, but if you really need the damage, I suppose a Revenant's Death Cap will do just fine. And Italy, you just don't stand a chance, do you? Oh wait, no, she can really move fast. And this is what I'm talking about when Mordekaiser has no like move. He even though I slowed her, I ulti her. I didn't have ignite first of all, and I couldn't keep up with her because first of all it's Italy, and second of all Mordekaiser is slow as molasses. So always keep that in mind. So for offensive items, either Abyssal Scepter or you can argue Ravenous Death Cap. Either one is fine, and as you can see, Abyssal Scepter serves me well during this gameplay. So you know, at the end of the day, it's your choice. You can do whatever you want. Cleaning up on Garen. Garen keeps sort of engaging with his team, and as a result, he just gets focused down. So right now I'm sort of testing my damage on Italy. That's something you want to do before a team fight as Mordekaiser. Just test your damage. Go move up a little closer. Use your E on somebody. Test your damage, and if you think you can take him, then go in. I tested my damage on Italy. I tested my damage on Vi, and I think we can clean up. So here we go. However, I get focused down immediately, and I die. Damn it. I mean, we have a fed Trundle at this point, so they don't have much. This is just gonna be it. We pushed to win, and they did the right thing. They did focus me, which is what you should do, especially with me being fed. But they forgot the fact that Trundle also is kind of fed, and he's doing a lot of damage. So my final score for the game is 15 kills, 6 deaths, and 12 assists. With the possibility of a quadra kill at some point. However, it was not meant to be. But Mordekaiser #1. Highly recommend it if you're new to the league. Very fun champion, very interesting, very intricate to use his ult, but very fun. So highly recommend it. Peace.